Hey, yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, Manny, and I'm coming to you live from the Manager Media headquarters right here in Worcester, Massachusetts. And I'm getting nervous because I know what I'm about to do. I am here with my good friend, Miss Gianna Bisceglia.
Hey.
Did I get it?
Yeah,
yes, we
perfect.
practiced and I did it. I should be more confident in myself with these things. We were good. All right. Yeah, so welcome to today's show. I'm so happy to have you here today. So I just want to start off with how we met, which we actually just met for the first time in person today. But I say my good friend because, the energy is undeniable, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And I want to shout out our dear good friend, real dear good friend of ours, Miss Margie, bro. We love you and appreciate you so much. I can hear myself on the phone. John told me to turn down my volumes and I didn't. But we love you, Miss Margie. Thank you so much. Shout out to Prism of Brilliance. Shout out to Now We Thrive on Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Wednesdays at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
All right. So I got it all in, got all my shout outs. I love you guys and welcome to today's show. So Gianna here is a yoga instructor.
Yes.
And much, much more. And so what I thought was amazing is not only did, Margie reach out to me and make me aware of who you were and what you do, but listen, it's spring. The allergies are really kicking in. But besides that, the trees are budding, the grass is growing, and the weather's getting warmer. Thank God, because I don't know how you feel about winter, but not a fan. And we all have that little bit of cabin fever, and a little bit of the spring fever is like we got to get outside and do something with ourselves. And I think a great place to start is recentering.
Absolutely.
Balancing.
Yeah.
And you bring that right here to the Worcester community. And before we get started, I just want to shout out with what you do. Shout out to Worcester Chiropractic. And tell us a little bit about yourself. Let's go back. Let's give them a little bit of a preview of who you are. First of all, one of the amazing fun facts that I got from you is your family has been here for over 100 years. Not just here in America. Here in Worcester.
Yeah, from Shrewsbury Street. We moved right to Shrewsbury Street when we moved here in the early 1920s.
So do you know how, because you're Italian?
Yeah.
Which is dope. I mean, obvious, right? Italian Shrewsbury Street. Did you assume?
Yeah.
I definitely knew. Did they have a part in making Shrewsbury Street Italian? I mean, I want to know how it became the Italian street of Worcester.
They were definitely involved in a lot of the establishments that were there. So they were really big in Mount Carmel when the church was over there. They had the Bigi Club over on Muskego Street. Okay. Yeah. So they really did. Have a hand in influencing the culture and heritage. You come over here, you find your people, and you're comfortable with them, and so it was all Italians in that neighborhood, all the way up through Franklin Street, over by where Vincent's is. That's where my family moved when my mother was born. They were over there on Franklin Street, so it was right in that area.
Wow, that's amazing. That's great cultural heritage and history right here in our city.
What I love too is they grew up in a 3-decker, which is common in Worcester. That is Worcester's thing, is our 3-deckers, right?
Well, yeah. You're what is it? What is the word? A Worcester stereotype. Shrewsbury Street stereotype.
Yeah.
Italian and triple deckers.
Yeah.
Right? You can't get any more stereotypical than that.
So that's how they grew up. And actually, now I live in a multifamily same way with my family on multiple floors.
That's dope. So generational.
Yeah.
Together. I think, whatever happened to that? I want to know how you feel about that, because for a long time, I grew up you heard no scrubs, living with your mama, living in your mama's basement, things like that. But I'm a big fan of architecture and history, and I would assume mansions, the big Victorian houses, those are built for a purpose, right? Not just for one guy to live in with his wife and kids, but generations to live there and take care of each other. And I know Italians are big on family.
Yeah. I live in the house that I grew up in now.
Wow.
So I was born there, and now my sister and I both own it. Our other sister lives next door. Every person in our neighborhood, which is Quinsig Village, we have been there since the 80s, and everybody in that neighborhood is our family. You go outside, you're ready to share ingredients, you're ready to hang out with the kids. Yeah. every day, all day long, holidays. It's like a big family thing.
That's
and
awesome.
I love it.
I need to come to your neighborhood because I've been wondering what happened to that. Because for me growing up, that's how it was.
Yeah.
And then it's like all of a sudden the technology revolution hit, and I don't know. I don't see kids outside anymore.
Yeah,
I don't
you're
see
right.
the community or the neighborhood block parties or cookouts anymore. I miss it, guys. Let's bring that back. It's okay.
We should bring it back.
Yeah.
I think you have the
reach?
Authority. Yeah.
The authority.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what
the connection.
I definitely have the authority. Margie, you talk so well about me, don't you? She really lifts me up. I love that. But so, family, heritage, that's everything in building who you've become today. Tell me a little bit about what influenced you, what impacted you to become who you are. Yeah. And then tell me what it is that you do.
Sure. It doesn't necessarily happen in a really easy and joyful way, right? You only come back to what you love after moving away from it. So when I left college, I definitely didn't think I was going to move back to Worcester, let alone my high school bedroom.
Really?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Because
you're here and you seem to love it now.
Oh, I love it now.
Why?
I love it now. I think anybody has sort of their ego mind that really wants to tell them, no, you're better and beyond where you've been. And now I moved back and I love it. And I used to be there's kind of a stigma of shame when, you're still in your hometown. But you can switch that perspective and be like, nah, I'm still in my hometown.
Right.
Like, they did right by me, I do right by them.
I love that you bring that up because it's true. I had the same thing. Like, when I was in high school, I wanted to go to college out of here.
Oh, for sure.
And my vision of success, and I think a lot of people's vision of success, and you know what? Now that I think about it, I wonder how systemic it is to get away.
Yeah.
You see it in movies all the time. I want to go to the college abroad or across the country. And then, you usually build your career and move there. And is that really what success looks like to you?
Not anymore, no. Because if that was the gauge for success, then I've been successful. I've had a great career. I've graduated college in 4 years. But now I find success to be sort of my reactions to things. Like if I'm running late and I hit a red light, I'm successful because I kept my cool.
Me too.
I kept driving. I'm
usually not successful, but I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel success when there's food in my fridge because that's not universal for every person.
Right. Especially nowadays.
For real.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened on day one. Still waiting.
It's true though.
But yeah, no, it is.
Yeah. I feel success right now being here to talk to you.
Oh, stop it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Look, I'm blushing. My ego is so terrible. I can't take it. I cannot take a compliment for anything. But so what is it that you actually do? We mentioned it a little bit.
Yep.
We said you do yoga, but I mean, I would imagine there's a ton of yoga instructors here. Did I say that right? Yoga instructors here.
For sure.
Tell me a little bit about what makes you different.
Absolutely. So I teach a format of yoga called Booty, spelled B-U-T-I.
Yeah, you had to know that was coming.
Yeah.
I thought, shout out to C, Booty Facials, by the way. Yes.
Yeah. It's a little different. Because,
it's a lot different.
Yeah. It is more about you allowing yourself to kind of shed through your layers to fall in love with yourself.
Yeah.
And we do so by using your playlist, first of all, to build the class. So when I step on the mat, I don't know what I'm about to do. Okay. I let the music dictate for what I'm going to teach.
I was hoping you would talk about music when you said the playlist.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's my playlist?
As the instructor, you make the playlist. So that before the class is even my own sense of creation and art prior to even hitting play. Okay. I got it now. Yep. All right. Sorry, guys. I had to catch up a little bit. Yep. I was thinking my personal life soundtrack. I make a new playlist every class. Gotcha. Yeah. All right. So it's your playlist. Yeah. But I'm sure I could trust it. You look like you got good taste in music. Stop it. You're distracting me. I love to make it all about me. So I thought that's what we were doing. Yeah, right. thought that's where we were going. All right. So you make the playlist. I hit play. I don't know what I'm about to do. I get on the mat. I start teaching. We don't choreograph, we don't count, we move the way that our body is teaching us intuitively to move. So your right side isn't going to necessarily be the same as your left side. You're not going to feel the same way. And that really ensures that every single class is different. You're never going to show up to a booty yoga class and have it be the same class twice.
Okay.
Ever.
Can you just define booty yoga one more time? Like as in like
Absolutely.
the professional
Yep.
definition, what I can expect when I go to booty yoga.
Absolutely. So booty is a derivative of a Marathi word, which kind of implies a hidden cure kept within. And so when these classes take place, we do specific techniques like spiraling, shaking, we do cardio bursts, plyometrics, right? Because these are not usually incorporated in traditional vinyasa or other formats of yoga. It's a lot more explosive and exciting. And so it kind of alters your chakras in a different way.
Kate says hi.
Yeah, right there. Go ahead, shout her out.
Oh, my best friend, Kate. Get it, girl.
That's right. I love that. Thank you, Kate, for watching and for supporting not only your friend, but supporting the show today. I really appreciate it. I love everybody who tunes in and supports because it really does matter when you get that energetical flow. You like that
I do.
terminology?
I like it. That was very your own.
Yes, I made that up just for you.
That was authentic.
Yeah, I thought it would go.
Yeah,
what we're talking about. But it is, if you think about just the terminology of that, energy does flow, and it helps our everyday lives. So when we're talking about yoga, which is what you do, it's not all about just stretching out the muscles. There's a lot more to it. Explain to us in deeper form. Because like when I think of yoga, I think of going and, doing the downward dog or whatever the yoga terms are. And I mean, I'm not exactly the most fit limber, is that the word?
Any of guy. The above, yeah.
So I automatically think that's not for me. I'm definitely not going to go there and show out. But
I'm happy you said that, truly, because I think that is the connotation with yoga is people dismiss it right away thinking, I'm not flexible. Yeah. I'm not a specific body type. Yeah. And I think that has become the Western point of view, that you need to look a certain way when you show up, look a certain way when you're in the class, dress a certain way, dress a certain caliber of designer, right? When you're there.
I always think like the stereotypical California Valley girl.
Absolutely.
When I think of yoga.
Exactly. And that is something that I work hard to try to break, because it is for every body. You do what is right for you in your body. I've taught Margie's son, right, as young as 6 or 7, and I've taught kids that young, and I've taught people up to 70 years old, right? Because it's what feels good for them, right? And it's wear what you are going to wear, show up as you are. And I think that's where the community comes into a whole lot, right? Because it is more than just stretching. It's being in a place where people support you and you don't even know their name yet, but they have your back and you know that.
Oh, that's dope. And so bringing back to the energy of it all, when you do these classes, I would imagine there's a sense of community there where everyone's supporting each other and that energy is flowing between each other. Because I mean, realistically, we could turn on YouTube and do yoga at home, right? Especially for me, who may not be comfortable showing my body off in front of other people or moving in specific ways. Why would it be important for me to show up with you in person to one of your classes?
So I actually get to teach at Fit Frenzy Studios in Shrewsbury multiple times a week. And we've been there 11 years. I've been teaching there over 2 years now. And I think when you have that sense of community, like for myself, I didn't believe that I needed community for a long time. And I think that was around the time when I didn't know I was going to come back to Worcester and that I was going to be grateful and excited to come back to Worcester. It was kind of like that dark time. And I think the community alone can push you to do things. Like if I didn't have that community, how could I have met Margie? How could I have met you guys, right? And you don't realize how much love people have to give. And sometimes the harder part is recognizing that you're allowed to receive that level of love and support. I think that is one of the harder portions of the practice.
Absolutely. And I'd love to dig into that a little bit more if you're down to do that. Because, when I met you, you showed up confident, powerful, big smile on your face, ready to go, ready to talk about all the great things that you do. But in order to achieve greatness, in my opinion, and success, you have to go through something. You have to go through some kind of trials, tribulations, and maybe even a bit of trauma. And what was it that you had to? Yeah, yes, you made me lose my train of thought. So. Back there. What was it? Walk me through the experience, because I feel like I'm following you as far as like when you went to college and really had to discover who you really were.
Yeah, for sure. I think, right, like when your chakra system, your root chakra is that safety and that stability. And when I left to college, I no longer had that security that I had felt here in my family realm, right? When I left, I was on my own, right? Because you're in college, even though I'm only an hour away, you still feel that sense of growth. And so you're scared. And so I really turned to self-harm when I was in that dark place. And I was kind of using fitness more abusively. Like I would work out really hard as a means for control and not necessarily as a form of gratitude and love at that time. And
if you don't mind, when you say as a means of control, was it like you maybe weren't proud of yourself, of your body, and you wanted to project something?
It was more like a punishment workout versus like a gratitude movement. You're working out really hard. And it's just like you're lifting really heavy.
But why are you punishing yourself? I guess is what I'm trying to
I think it gives you more of a sense of control over yourself. Right? If you feel like you can't control things around you, you might want to take that control internally. And I just wasn't manifesting it in the healthiest way. Now I can manifest control in terms of my thoughts and how I interact and what I choose to engage with.
Yeah.
But back then, when you're kind of rattled at your core, you don't necessarily know what to turn to.
And I mean, to be honest, when you're so young, I think our country, our society has a way of pushing young people like literally out of the nest and hoping they can fly. And there are a lot of people that are able to do that, but I mean, everybody moves and learns at their own pace, right?
Yeah.
And so to have that pressure, even if your family didn't say, Gianna, you got to go. You got to go figure it out.
Right.
But just you knowing in the back of your mind that I have to do this in order to, for society even to see me as successful.
Yeah.
Having to do that in a what is imposed on us is an allotted amount of time, right? 4 years of college or whatever. It's super duper stressful, and you just got to kind of go with the punches. And a lot of kids, they do end up in, because I love to talk about me. We're gonna bring back to me for a second.
Yeah.
I partied a lot.
I
drank more than I ever drank in my life. I stayed up to all hours of the morning, not getting the rest I needed to be able to perform well in class, things like that, where I ended up failing. It's definitely a time of life of discovery and trying to figure out who we are, especially when you're transitioning from parental control, if I could say that, into being able to figure it out and live and do for yourself, right?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I think that's almost in alignment with what I'm saying too. Like it's a coping mechanism no matter what you're turning to, because either way, it's not necessarily healthy. And I think when I was in college, right, I was completely losing that sense of safety and security because my single mother who had raised me was starting to decline on a kind of a dementia journey. And I think subconsciously I knew that I didn't have that solid foundation. And so over a long time, like over a full decade, I had to kind of create my own stability and foundation within myself to be able to feel solid, no matter if anyone's hitting me up on my phone to tell me I'm good, right? I had to create that within myself.
Wow, that's powerful. I definitely know the effects that dementia can have on the family. I thank God, I haven't had to deal with it directly with someone that as close to me as my mom. But I can imagine that as like an extra layer that a lot of people don't really have to deal with. Whenever you have those struggles or everything gets too heavy to bear, you can always turn to mom.
Right.
And have your mom like to lean on and kind of just let you know and remind you it's all going to be okay. You have that soft, reassuring, nurturing touch. When you're dealing with things like dementia, it's not that it's completely gone, but you don't want to put that burden on your loved ones either.
You know, you become the mom, the child then becomes the parent.
Wow.
And we all go through something, and I like heavy stories like that, right? And you just shared a little bit of yours, and I think that's why, like we're describing, yoga and community can be a bit of that foundation for each of us.
Wow. So you were able to basically bring yourself from this really dark place in what should have been what's usually looked at as like a pivotal milestone moment in life where it's celebrated normally. You had to grow up really fast.
Absolutely.
Man,
yeah,
you're blowing me away. We could talk more, but we do have to take a break because we got to thank our amazing sponsors. And first, I want to thank our team, our production team. Shout out to John, Hollywood Film Group, and shout out. I'm sorry, listen, I have to. I love you guys. And shout out to my man, Mr. Munchies. All right, I'm getting the finger. Go to our amazing sponsors. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Hey, yo, welcome back, everybody. That was so weak. What happened? See what you did to me? Hey, yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to InnerViews. I'm here with Gianna, and Gianna is a yoga instructor and so much more. Tell me a little bit more. We're going to go back into the great story we were talking about before in more detail, but just for people that might be tuning in now, tell everybody a little bit about who you are from your own words.
Absolutely. Wow. I don't know why that seems difficult.
We were just in a really dark donor.
I know we were.
So coming back and just trying to sell yourself could be
I am today.
Who you are today.
I am grateful. I am joyous. I am freshly 30 years old. I'm a Worcester community member. Right now, I work at Worcester Family Chiropractic as a chiropractic assistant, which I moved into because I'm back in school for integrative health medicine, and I love to see people seeking alternative ways of healing themselves. And yes, I am happily a booty yoga instructor at Fit Frenzy Studios in Shrewsbury.
Awesome. Booty yoga. If that doesn't get your attention, just go to Fit Frenzy in Shrewsbury and find out what booty yoga is. And by the way, booty yoga is for everybody. You just said a boy as young as 6 years old was able to attend one of your classes.
Yeah.
I'm sure get plenty out of it.
Oh, Oliver said he loved it. Yeah. Margie said he's dying to come back.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so are you thinking about doing more like kid-oriented classes maybe, or family-oriented classes? Is that something that crossed your mind? Curious.
I love that idea, actually. I think sometimes Booty creates a stable like foundation for yourself. So sometimes being alone there is like a scary enough part where it can build you back up. And then if you have your family, it is sort of a safe space that you're bringing with you. Yeah. And Booty really wants to rip you open so you can create your own safe space and fall in love with yourself without wondering, is my kid having fun? Is my mom enjoying this? So I hadn't thought about family before.
But
now,
maybe a good place to start is to go and just experience it. I'm a first-time visitor.
Yeah.
Right. I'm really nervous, not sure what to do. I just kind of want to hang back on the wall and watch. Is that okay? And
I love that.
What would you suggest? Someone who's nervous and maybe doesn't want to jump in right away, but is curious about what it is, what you do, that I should do.
I think you show up to the mat exactly as you are. If you're nervous, if you want to hide in the back, then show up with those emotions, because the movements, the words, the cues, the energetic shifts that happen during class will ultimately break you out and will ultimately help you move through whatever emotions you show up with. So I'm not the one to say, leave your emotions at the door, leave your ego at the door. No, place it right at the top of your mat and face it head on when we're doing something like moving really fast that you can't think about it, or holding so still that it's right there in your face and you have to look at it.
So what I'm getting is this is like a real stretching of my internal me more than it is my physical.
It is quite physical.
well, we're doing physical, but the focus is more spiritual.
I think so.
Or energetical?
Yeah.
That's not a word, but yeah.
I think so, absolutely. Because you move and you go, and I think the playlist ultimately pushes you to when you decided, I absolutely am done. Is this class over yet? And then that next song comes on and you're like, oh.
Right, no, we ain't done yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to keep this up. Yeah, exactly. And what I love about Fit Frenzy too is we keep the lights dark. There's no overhead lighting. It's all...
Oh, so I don't got to worry about nobody looking at me.
No.
Good.
No,
I like that.
It's all colorful lighting up in the front by the mirror. And, everybody's walking in with the same emotions. And I think that, why are we over here thinking we're the only people that feel scared, worried, ashamed, embarrassed, that we are the only people worrying what other people think about us? Like, no, everybody is having that same kind of mindset play in their head. And it's up to you to break that pattern.
That's so. Listen, I'm blown away right now. I can't wait. I actually want to go try it out. Margie, we're gonna have a date. We're gonna go do some booty yoga. Because I just feel like it would be. I'm more excited to do that soul stretching.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking of. And yes, the physical part is the cherry on top. We get, that's part of the class. That's what we got to do. But there's, even though I'm happy with where I am and, for the most part, and I'm doing well, I think there's always opportunities to learn and grow. And that's something that I saw when I was learning a little bit about you, is one of the things that you take pride in is being a learner.
Yeah.
So like you're still learning to this day. And it sounds like you plan on learning as long as you're breathing.
Yes, absolutely.
Talk to me a little bit about your love and passion for learning.
Thank you. I love that you said that is love and passion, because it is. And I think maybe before it came from a place where, I can learn the most and I can be the best. And now when you start to learn more, you realize how much you really don't know. And so when you take the observer role as a student, you can really be in awe of how much knowledge there is to gain and to utilize. And there are things that I learned in college that are now coming back up in my current studies. And there are things that I'm learning now from people I meet every day, right? It doesn't have to be from a textbook, from a lecture. There are things I'm learning just by observing the world around me, like the natural world and the people in the community. And I just love to be able to have that knowledge.
It's so distracting, right?
I know.
I don't know what's wrong with them today. They're usually not like this. Like, watch all my shows. You'll never see this much commentary about the guys in the background. But I love you guys. It's all right. They're catching our eyes. They're doing all kinds of fun stuff back there. Anyway, let's steer this conversation. Where was I going? God, you guys are fired. We got to put up a curtain so I can't see you next time. I wanted to steer it into the direction of holistic and alternative healing, because essentially this is one of those practices that isn't necessarily in traditional medicine, and the doctor's not going to recommend, hey, go to booty yoga, right? But you have always had an affinity for alternative holistic healing. Yeah. Let's go back to your high school, college days, and tell me where your mindset was and where you chose to go on your road to where you are now.
So my bachelor's degree is in biomedical science. So that means that I was pre-med in college. So I had the ambition to go to medical school because I thought this is definitely how to heal people. This is where people go. They go to the hospital. They need help. I can help them.
Were you going nursing, doctor?
Doctor, ER. I didn't know. I was open, but I definitely thought it was that one-on-one kind of emergency situation. Yeah. And when I left school, I ultimately didn't pursue medical school because I thought, I never go to a doctor. I never go to a traditional doctor. Why do I think that would be the best path for me? So when I left school, I thought, okay, research. So I started working in cancer research at UMass. And again, I didn't feel that the work was formatted for actual cancer patients. It felt more suited for, you get your name on a paper, you get more grant money, you continue learning.
It's right? Business.
Exactly. So I said, okay, I moved on to cannabis. Surely this is the alternative wellness I thought it could be. And it is, and it can be. But I was working in production, which I loved, but it, again, wasn't one-on-one with the patient. And I was waiting for any moment for my staff to allow me the space to bring up health and wellness. So I'm like, okay, there's something else on my heart. I left cannabis once my mother passed away. Yeah, I left.
Oh,
I changed my whole life. Oh, thank you. It was a few years ago.
Yeah, I didn't realize that that was part of the journey. But it's interesting, the cannabis industry, being so new and so many people making so much money off of it, right, in these past few years, that you would want to, it just, my mind doesn't say leave the money from cannabis and go be a yoga instructor.
I know.
Wow.
That was a hard choice, and you almost had to mourn that part of yourself, that whole version of yourself that you were, because now you're stepping into something new, and it can be terrifying.
Yeah.
I had to, you have to audition to become this kind of instructor. You have to do a demo. You have to pass. You have to continue to pursue it and learn more. And so I've done so many different trainings and so many weekends, and I'm going to do another 2 next month just to keep up with all that I can learn and do and be able to provide for our community. But that is what I find successful. Not so much, my salary that it was, but when women say, wow, I thought about what you said yesterday and I had a better day, or class was so amazing, I feel better now. That feels like success to me.
Those are things you can't buy, right? You can't buy changing someone's life. I'm sure you get a lot of people, because even now at my ripe old age, I still get days where I'm like, I don't know if I can keep going. I don't know if I want to keep going. I don't know if I could do this anymore, but we all can.
Yeah.
We just get those days where we get in our minds. And that's what's so great about what you do, is we can go and just kind of reset, refresh, balance ourselves, and move forward with much better energy.
Yeah.
I think it's so great what you do. And I appreciate you bringing that to us so that we can share, because honestly, before this, I never heard of this. And I think that it's important that people do have alternative methods of dealing with their health and their happiness, and being able to move forward in this crazy thing we call life. I want to take it a little bit, turn off the road to take a quick left for a minute. 100 years of legacy, generationally in this city is amazing. So if anybody knows what good things there are to do out here, I'm sure it would be you, your family. You've been around a lot, right?
Yeah.
So just tell me some of the things that I could do. I'm from Worcester, but maybe I could learn something today and you could show me something new.
I think it's cool that people from Worcester don't always have the same like days, right? You can be at completely different places and hang out and never run into each other, yet you lived in the same city for years.
I know, that's crazy. We've both been here our entire lives. I've never met you before today. Yeah. That's wild.
I know. Eating, number one. I'm Italian, right? So food is huge. Shrewsbury Street is everything. I absolutely have to shout out Volturno because they are donating to an event I'm actually doing next weekend called Booty and Bubbles. The White Eagle is hosting it in their upstairs. Yeah, so it's my first event, and while we showcasing women-owned Worcester businesses, they will be vending after an hour-long booty class. They'll be vending their wares, and then we have been accepting so many raffle items. We have like Cordellas I'm going to go pick up after this. We have 188. We have Time Apothecary that are donating.
That's
and
excellent.
Then food. We have food donations coming in too. Has to be food. And I like to go to Volturno. Why not?
And I'm sorry, what were you pointing out, Kate? Yeah, Kate put it in the chat. Got the details. Shout out to Kate.
I know she's been So she grew up in Worcester with me in my same neighborhood. So we go all the way back.
Yeah, and is she working with you today?
She's just my best friend.
She just
and not just
best friends at everything, right? No, I know.
That's the foundation I need.
I got to take this opportunity to shout out Charcuterie by Charisse. I'm there for her.
Yes,
because there's no. Yeah. That's my girl, right? So she needs an extra hand. I'm there, just like when I need an extra hand, she jumps in, no questions asked. So, I gotta shout out our best friends for always being there. So 10:45, doors open.
Yeah.
So bright and early. We don't gotta wait all day to be able to go to this amazing event. Tell me what we can expect there. I know you just did, but tell me again.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll start class around 11. I'll do like a nice intro. Everybody is going to show up. They purchase their tickets ahead of time, but you're welcome to purchase at the door.
How much a ticket?
$25.
Oh, not bad.
Includes a drink. So you can get a mimosa or a mocktail.
Oh, some places $25 is a drink.
I know. I know. Yeah. So you can get a mimosa or a mocktail. I know that Polar is going to be providing the seltzer portion for the mocktails because it's Worcester.
Who you know at Polar? We got to talk after the show. I'm just saying, you got Polar sponsoring your event.
For more businesses.
I'm sorry?
Any more places for more businesses.
All right. So is there more opportunities for other businesses to get involved?
Absolutely. I have been keeping it open so I can accept more vendors. And I like to keep them kind of in alignment with health and wellness. So we have different kind of shake places. We have East Coast Confections. We have Funky Stuff Crystals. We have Poppy Petals, which is like floral. My homegirl just opened up her own esthetician place, MCM.
Nice.
She's over there in the Sculpt building. So yeah, I've just been allowing anybody who wants to be involved. And I'm getting a lot of the feedback, this is my first time. And I say, me too. Come through. We'll do this together. Yeah.
And not only $25. Wait, how much for the vendor fee?
So there is no vendor fee.
I need to get you a mic, bro.
I know, John. You should be here.
He should be part of this conversation. Because I really do appreciate you got great questions. So
because it's my first event and most of theirs, I opted no vendor fee. Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's a surprise face. That's dope.
Yeah. I just want to see how we can all do our best. Right. And so if the vendor is going to take the class, then that will be the payment because ultimately I do owe the White Eagle for what they're providing. And then there's the raffle. And so I'll be selling raffle tickets, $1 per ticket or 25 tickets for $20. Yeah. And
this is very budget friendly and very affordable and great for the community.
I think that yoga shouldn't be so isolated for people that can afford it.
I really thought yoga was like a rich man's sport.
Exactly.
I really did. Just like, yoga for the girls, golf for the guys. Kind of where my mind was. I never thought it was a thing that I could do. Never mind at the White Eagle in Worcester. Like that's pretty dope.
I know.
$25. And not only do you get to, it's a great opportunity to sample what you do with booty yoga, but also a great networking opportunity. Yeah. You get to support a lot of small businesses and again, networking, just meeting so many people in this field. Booty yoga may not be for you, right? Mm-hmm. Can we be honest about that?
Absolutely.
It's not for everybody. Yeah. However, going to this event, you're going to meet so many other vendors that you may very well find something that's for you.
And Margie's going to actually be playing after the class.
Margie's doing sound bath?
Yes.
Word. If you haven't experienced the Margie Bro sound bath, a Prism of Brilliance sound bath, Listen, I call it a soul massage. I don't know if everyone calls it that, but that's definitely what I call it. It feels so good after you get up. Your whole body's like vibrating. It's amazing. And Margie, speaking of, has also been attending your classes. She's been posting pictures. She's looking great, by the way.
Margie comes to my classes specifically, sometimes 3-4 times a week.
Yeah, she's glowing.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, she's always been a very bright, upbeat, happy, shiny personality, but there's just something that you can see, just glowing a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and it's reciprocal, right? Like, and when sometimes I show up to the mat, I don't know if I can do it, and there's X amount of people showing up ready for me to perform. But that's where the community comes through. That's where the authenticity
you can't do it, I don't know. I'm not. Yeah. I'm gonna be really struggling, bro. But it's not necessarily about doing it. I like John has the saying, it's not about doing it perfectly, but getting it done. I don't know if that's exactly how he says it, but doing it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And
done is better than good.
I like just because it isn't perfect doesn't mean it isn't awesome.
Yeah.
So it doesn't need to be perfect. And that's when you show up authentically, and that's when your community supports you.
Word. So what date again is your event?
So that is the 13th of this month. So next Sunday. Doors will open at about 10:45. Class will start loosely around 11, last about an hour with a nice long savasana, so a meditation at the end. And then we will move into getting our drinks, starting a little bit of shopping, and working on the raffle, probably wrapping up around 2.
Nice.
Yeah. So you
very
continue your day.
Morning, and then you still got the whole afternoon to go and rest and reset for your
work
week. Yeah. So very thoughtful and intentional. Very mindful, very demure. I had to pull it out. Those seem like yoga terms to me, yeah?
Yeah, you got it.
Well, all right, so unfortunately, yes, go ahead, sir. Is that what you're going to tell me? You're going to give me the finger? I love you. I love when he gives me the whole, we got to go.
Time to go, yeah.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun. It was so great to meet you. And by the way, I love your cup there. I've been watching your yoga skeletons this entire time. Do you want to shout out where you got it?
TJ Maxx.
TJ Maxx.
It was a gift.
Shout out to TJ Maxx. # not sponsored, but it's awesome. Skeleton yoga. All right. Before we go, let everybody know where they can find you.
For booty yoga classes, I teach multiple times a week at Fit Frenzy Studios amongst 3 other instructors that offer it. So we offer it multiple times a day, every day.
Check this out. Collaboration, bro. No competition. It's all about collaboration and uplifting each other. I love that. And social media?
GGGIGI_vitality227 on Instagram.
All right. Somebody write that in the comments. One more time.
If you're from Worcester, I probably already follow you. I made it a point too. It's GIGI_vitality227.
All right. So if you want to find out more about Gianna, what she does, how you can not only take advantage of the resources and services that Gianna offers, but maybe even support. Collaborate. Yeah. Do a lot of the things that you're doing. Don't hesitate to reach out. I'm sure.
Yeah.
And April 13th. I almost said February, but we're not. Thank God we're not. Listen, I'm so happy. What's your favorite thing to do in the spring in Worcester?
Ooh. You just got to ground at the park. Take your shoes off. Go for a walk. We have so many parks in Worcester. It is free.
Yeah.
And you can bring your friends.
Listen, Green Hill is dope.
Green Hill, I was thinking. Elm. I'm right by Greenwood Park. We got the splash pad over there. Free splash pad.
It's not that warm yet, but we're getting there.
Not that warm.
We're getting there. I can't wait till we get there. All right, Gianna, thank you so much. I appreciate you for joining me today. And I thank you guys all for tuning in, hanging out with us, watching every week. Bro, 1 o'clock, come back because we have another fantastic guest for you today at 1 p.m. live on Facebook and YouTube. And until next time, it's been your boy Manny and
Gianna.
Manny J Media Interviews, Community Delivered. We'll see you real soon. Peace.